Greetings and welcome to an LGR blurb about this Texas Instruments Extensa laptop. It was recently donated to the channel. Thank you once again. And, it's a computer that I've never used before. I don't really know anything about it, and that's one reason I was happy to take it in, especially since it's in such relatively decent shape. It is a Pentium laptop, Pentium 1 of some kind. An Extensa 550 CD is the model number, and Windows 95. Got a little LCD of some kind here. Indicators probably for who knows what. A little microphone, teeny little trackpad. These buttons that sort of click twice. Don't know what that's about. And a keyboard that feels terrible. So I am assuming, just by the way it feels, that it probably wasn't the most expensive laptop back in the day, but again, I don't know. Never done any research on this yet. I just got it, so yeah. Got a 3.5-inch disk drive right there. I got, PCMCIA with a card in there. Looks like a modem, probably. Yeah, GVC 56K V90 fax modem. Okay. Ooh, there's some like corrosion in there too. Got a few different audio inputs and outputs here. Some ports. We got serial, parallel, VGA. Probably a dock connector. Definitely a dock connector. A PS2 keyboard and mouse port. And let's see, power. Thankfully it came with a power supply, although we'll get to that in a second. Don't know if that's going to work. That might be locked. Looks like a hard disk goes there, and then of course we got the battery. The battery is in there, but chances are it's probably dead. So what we're going to do is just see if it works before I end up doing any other kind of restoration on this, because you just never know. As for the power supply, it's just this one right here, and it was kind of almost in half when I got it. Just sort of snapped it back together, but it still doesn't really want to close, so who knows what's going on there. And this wire coming out the back end is pretty kinky. Pretty kinky looking wire. Look at that. It's been kinked. So just gonna plug this in, see what happens. Now, we do get a light on the power supply, so that's something. And it shows on the little display there that it's plugged in, so hey, what do you know? Internal battery is dead, of course. Gonna check some bad CMOS error, but yeah. That screen is super dark. As bright as it goes. Contrast, okay, there's some. Well, I mean, I wasn't sure if it'd power on at all. Detected a hard drive, 524 megs. Awesome. It's making some grindy noise. You hear that? Almost sounds like the hard disk is constantly trying to load or something, but it's not loading anything right now. So maybe that's just like a kind of gross fan or something. And we do have 24 megs of RAM on top of the standard 640K conventional. That's actually pretty sweet. Yeah, just looking at this camera viewfinder, it does look worse on the camera than it does in real life. It's not great in real life either. That is pretty dim. Yeah, we just start losing things here. So this is probably like a passive matrix of some kind. Not particularly great, but so it goes. Cheap laptop, I assume. Now let's see if there's anything actually on the hard drive, or if it'll even read it, because those noises are concerning. Man, yeah, that screen is just terrible. Okay. It sees it. Heard the floppy disk drive. It's doing things. Yeah, I got a little indicator there for the hard disk. Hey! Windows 95 is even still on here. Wow. Well, that's cool. I don't know what this little water faucet icon is that's showing up right there. It's a little odd. Wow. Didn't know if we'd get this far this quick, but we have. Very classic Windows setup background there. So I wonder if this was like freshly redone or... Oh. There's a very quiet Windows 95 startup sound. And this is not totally fresh install. I got something called Vania's stuff. A previous owner, I assume. Otherwise, it looks pretty clean. Or maybe it was redone and then just not used much after it was like factory reset, reinstall, whatever. Bunch of crap's trying to load down here, though. Looks like the modem card. Some display settings. What? The screen went bright there for a second. Mouse trails. Indeed. Yeah, this... I don't know. Do we actually need mouse trails? Yeah, we probably do, because you got the streakiness going on here that you see in a lot of these. This looks like a... Yeah. Like a dual scan or DSTN, whatever. It looks like it's kind of split down the middle, maybe, if I had to guess. So, better than some passive matrices, but still not great. And it's still making that noise, like it's constantly loading, but there is no hard disk icon, or it's not doing anything, so... Yeah, it looks like this was pretty much cleaned up at some point in the past, and then just not used much after they reinstalled Windows. So that's interesting. You don't actually see that too often, but usually it's like either there's no operating system at all on these random old laptops, or it's one that's been completely bloated since the mid-90s and was never redone. They did actually go to the trouble to reinstall a lot of the Microsoft software, though. Alright. Yeah, like it goes brighter every so often. Interesting. Just want to see what the mouse looks like without mouse trails. There we go. Oh my goodness, I can't even see it. It's moving. Yeah, so you definitely need the mouse trails. There's the mouse, and it disappears anytime you move it. Wow, that is terrible. These screens, do not miss these. Right. Wonder what kind of sound we're working with, because there was at least digital sound there. That's cool. Or like PCM sound. It's going to be digital. An ESS-EX or ES688 plug-and-play audio drive. Don't know how DOS compatible that is. Some of these are, you know, okay, we got IRQ5, address 220.388 for the AdLib DMA1. Awesome. Should be pretty sweet in DOS. I've lost the mouse cursors, or the mouse trail. Where'd it go? There it is. Serial's not doing a thing, or maybe that is Serial V. COM1. Cirrus Logic 7543 PCI. That can't be too impressive. It doesn't sound impressive. Other devices. Yeah, pretty standard stuff, but man, it's really hard to see. Okay, Let's see what's in the common files. Yeah, some downloads. A Valentine? What? Okay. It's a flash animation thingy. I probably should not have put it full screen. Not powerful enough. Wow. This is quite the thing. It's barely animating, but volume doesn't seem to change. Wow, this is just going to keep going, isn't it? It's quite the Valentine. I'm glad we opened that. Okay, got some things. Somebody left their infos. Just some memos. Some things in the kitchen and family room need to be fixed. Not the family room, living room, master bedroom, ensuite. Sure. Not going to go invading too much privacy though. We'll just clear out all this stuff. Definitely still a lot of bloat. It has taken forever just to shut down. Got a mouse driver loading in DOS mode. Indeed. Can't imagine much memory is free after whatever it was trying to load. 558K free. Conventional. That's not the best. Yeah, and it's doing that thing where it's changing the brightness and stuff, so something's probably loose. Oof. This whole thing feels like it's on its last legs, but it's working, so. Got some floppies I need to try. Just see if the floppy drive is even working here. Cosmos Cosmic Adventure. Let's try that. Directory reading, maybe? Yes, we got one. Neat. Whack. Dinky little PC speaker, but that's okay, I guess. I'm curious why the volume isn't going up any louder on anything, but maybe it just wasn't responding when I was trying it. It's got these up and down volume icons. It looks like that's how you're supposed to do it, and I was doing it, but yeah, floppy drive seems to be working. So man, this is working a lot better overall than I thought it would. It's not a great little computer, but that's kind of what I expected. It looked and felt cheap, and it was a freebie donation. It was, I think, saved from a thrift store or something. I don't recall what the original email said, but glad to have it. These are kind of fun little things. Just because it's a Pentium 1, you know. I don't know what speed. Alright, PKWare self-extract, doing its thing. You can barely hear that ad-lib music. That is just as loud as it goes. So it's either a software thing somewhere underneath or capacitors or who knows. This is not a good screen to play this game. Okay. Oh my goodness. These arrow keys are not great. They're very small and weirdly shaped, like kind of tall. Whoops. Again, I haven't done any research on this, but I wouldn't be surprised if this computer was some kind of an OEM design or like some other company's design. It was just sort of standard, made by somebody else, and then TI put their logo on it, probably. Who knows? It doesn't feel great though. But hey, the sound works in DOS, so that's cool. At least AdLib does. It's just so quiet. And, you know, it's nice that it is like a 640 by 480 thing, too. So let's just get out of here. Where's delete? There it is. So there's no CD-ROM drive or anything like that, which is unfortunate for a Windows 95 Pentium machine. It says 550 CD, but there's no CD-ROM drive. So I'm assuming you could maybe swap this floppy for a slim CD-ROM or something, because it looks like it's got one of those, yeah, like a little filler plate here, and then you could take this whole thing out. Sort of a modular design. A lot of laptops did that back then. But yeah, I would definitely try some CD-ROM stuff if we had a CD drive in here. We just don't. Other than hooking up an external one, which, you know, if I end up covering this or something, I'll do that, but yeah, the sound is maxed out in the volume control as well. Oh, they didn't include all of the waves and MIDI files and whatnot. I was hoping to have like Canyon or Passport or something play on here, but they don't even have that. They must have done a more limited install or just didn't bother installing the multimedia. Are there any MIDI files at all? There are no MIDI files on this machine. Wow. So sad. Well, it's kind of a boring machine, but I'm glad it works. Such as it does. I didn't expect that. Actually, I didn't even see if the battery worked. It's been charging, supposedly, so I doubt it holds any charge. Nope. Yeah, so the battery's useless effectively, but it at least has the power supply. Just needs to be stuck back together so it's not doing this. Alright, well that's pretty much it for this video, I guess. I was just looking at this computer, see if it worked. Didn't know if it would. It does. It could be fixed up a little. I don't know. I'm not inspired by this thing. And sometimes that happens. There's some computers where you get them and it's just like, I could cover it, but what would be the point? Like, I'd have to do enough research into this to see if there's anything notable about it whatsoever. But as it is, there just seems to be nothing. You know, as opposed to like some of these, got some down here. Yeah, like some of these IBM ThinkPads. Here's one I'll probably do a video on at some point if I can get it repaired. This is a 760EL. This thing is really cool in a lot of ways, but it's got this like extendo keyboard, pops up with the screen, among many other things. I mean, sure, it's just another ThinkPad, but it's pretty cool for some reason. That's this video on this thing. Thanks for watching.